Welcome back to Christ's College, where we have a massive game in store for you. It's the final of the 2012 quad tournament between the holders for the last 9 years, Wellington College, and the team that has contested this final for the last 9 years as well. The last eight, this is their 9th. Wellington heading for their 10th title. If you can work all that out, well done. But basically what it means is that Wellington has completely dominated this tournament for almost the last decade. So it's Wellington College against Nelson College, neither team showing a willingness to enter the fray early. We saw in the curtain raiser the match won by the home team Christ's College in an 18-15 result over Whanganui Collegiate, that Whanganui came out and stood in the cold for 5 or 6 minutes. Whether that had any effect on the slow start they made, I don't know. But neither side in the main game showing any great keenness to come out. Here they come though, and Ken Laban, who along with Paul Allen will share commentary with me, will introduce the Nelson team to you.
Igorь and Blundell with Nelson College, McNabb, Asofa Goodman and Tom Hill in the front row. Wisanale and Curry, the two locks, Pelafuti, Soper and Larry Bentz, the back three for Nelson College. Mitchell Drummond and Mitchell Hunt in the halves, a quality pairing. Stevens and Barrett, who's a quality player, out on the wings. And Rarimu Karu and Saunders Loader in midfield. And Hart Strawbridge is at fullback. And on the bench, Wethered, McCormick, Strange, Sam Coventry, Ricky Persico, Havili and Tudor Stevens. Just waiting on Wellington College, the 9th defending, or 9th consecutive time defending champion of the quad championship, also undefeated in the Wellington secondary school first 15 competition. Ezekiel Sopoanga, coach at Lincoln Rolls, Sakaria Sopoanga and Salui. The front row, Ulutoto Malu and Elijah Williams-Stewart, two locks, Ben Tuiomanufili, Greg Morgan and Nelson Asofa Solomona, normally a lock today, playing number 8. In the back row, Luke Campbell and Turia. In the halves, Otene Williams and Ryan Saunders. On the wings, Wesley Goosen and Rawiri Ropata Barnsley. In midfield, and Nathan Blundell is the fullback. And on the bench, Hinchcliffe, Wilson, Risson, Scott, Hawiti Parapara, Hauraki and Arthur Crawford complete the playing 22 for Wellington College today.
Questions to be answered today. Can Wellington make it a full 10 years in a row? It's already a record. Once they got to 5 straight, they started resetting the record. The last time anybody got their hands on this trophy was 2001. 2002 when Christ's were the champions, Nelson in 2001, and the last time Whanganui held the quad title was in 1991. The Wellington caps on the ground, now to be joined by those from Nelson College. One of the great traditions of rugby around the world, certainly here at New Zealand school level. There are fellows in their 80s and 90s, and there are families whose loved ones have passed on who have those caps in their caretaking.
Draw. Two very good huckers.
Well, you could just about cut the air with a knife here. This really means something. We know that. We've spoken about it through the first match, that between Christ's and Whanganui, just how much this means for many of these young fellows, their first taste of it. As I said before, for a lot of them, their last. It's something they never forget. And with an introduction like that, these teams are set. They are set to play. Referee this afternoon, Mr. Chris Ratt. He'll be assisted on the sidelines by Sam McKnight and Ben Lowry. And it'll be Nelson playing with a fairly stiff breeze at their back. It's still coming from top left to bottom right of your screen, and perhaps even straight down the field. It's a definite advantage, and we saw that with the kick from Damien McKenzie to get Christ's home 18-15 in referee's time. So underway in the final for 2012.
Mitchell Hunt. It's play underway. Now Asofa Solomona with a run and an offload to get Wellington College off to a very positive start. Luke Campbell. Tudia. It's a cutout ball for Wesley Goosen. So into their work straight away, Wellington College. 5 forwards waiting. The captain, Soper, just to the outside of Asamoah Goodman's tackle. And Malu. Tuiomanufili. Campbell. Asofa Solomona, another carry and another offload. The ball is loose on the ground. So Otene Williams can't take it. Lost forward, so Nelson College with field position now.
Early days, still inside the first minute, but I think we've already seen a rise in level.
Absolutely, you can see the intensity, and that started with the huckers, didn't you? You could just see in the eyes of the opposing teams how much it means to them. This is a very serious business and a very big, important competition, or quad tournament for these two teams to win. A good start from Wellington College, but just a little fumble there. So Nelson College will get the opportunity in a good attacking zone just outside the 22 to see what they've got.
Williams taking a low blow there on the left wing for Wellington. Now that's an area, Ken, where Wellington should have a massive advantage. Their front row, just giants. So Louis, Sopuanga and Sakaria, massive size, 103, 104, 111 kg.
I don't think there's any doubt, Steve, that looking at the two teams, that Wellington College has got a definite size advantage through height and physical weight.
Also the front row of the Wellington under 16-18, which won the regional tournament last year, is a set play. The ball is untidy. Hart Strawbridge started on the right, and then Asofa Solomona wraps him up, trying to lock the ball up, prevent it coming back. He can't. Drummond offloads the ball for Stephen Soper. Big men hold the advantage line, sensible play. Hunt straight away gets the ball out wide for Saunders Loader. Gets on the outside, bumps away a couple of attempted tackles. That's a good run from the centre. There's two hands, then tucks it. The outside of one that beats the first one with a fend. Blundell with the tackle.
They corralled him well though, didn't they? They didn't lose their line on defence.
Well, Wellington College are man down at the moment. Vincent Sakaria is down injured. Lucien Crott, but they carry on.
Soper already prominent in the game, and he's taken that up and set them a little bit of a target. Carrying on is Arumu Karu. He lose that ball forward. No, referee happy that it went back. Throwing it out wide, and the big fellas are in. He's definitely in. And the first try inside the first 4 minutes to the tight head prop Hill, Tom Hill. And that is just a little bit of a surprise that there was so much room on that far side. I know they're a man down, but they've accepted the opportunity with both hands. Nelson, they'll be delighted. Bit of work to do here. Did it well, Bull.
Yeah, well, Michael Curry threw the funny-looking pass, didn't it? It's not your normal sort of stock-standard pass. Let's have a look here. It all looks a bit awkward. He sort of hips it out of nowhere. And the big fella, he took it with open arms. Tom Hill, he couldn't believe his luck. He's delighted. Look at the face on him. Oh, I love it. That is superb. And there you see the injured man who was down and out while that was all going on. Vincent Sakaria looks like he's got a shoulder problem. As we see Mitchell Drummond try and get the two.
Has that come from that dominant scrum? That was about where that was. I don't think he's taken any part in play since then. But Drummond, we saw him last year on First 15 Rugby. Hit it pretty well. Oh, that's a beautiful kick. Used the wind nicely. 7-pointer for Nelson, and that will sting Wellington College.
Yeah, I think a few people around the ground will be a little bit surprised at that quick start from them. The talk around here is Wellington College, they'll be taking out number 10. Well, Nelson College got other ideas.
Salui back into work. Just check on that for you. Kick into the breeze. You can see that it's just holding up there a little bit. It's a nice touch by Mitchell Hunt. Two Mitchells, 9 and 10. Mitchell Drummond, Mitchell Hunt. And they'll be instrumental. That's a pretty useful kick as well. And then bounces into touch. So very good clinical and effective start from Nelson.
Ezekiel Solomona. Full line out.
And Salui's back, which is good to see.
Ben Tuiomanufili with the line out win, jumping at 5 in the line out. Two there.
Now that's a good kick because it's caught the breeze and it's landed nowhere really, no man's land. They've recycled it well, Nelson. And using the width nicely here too. And Ross, we saw that little bit of a match between Christs and Whanganui for third and fourth. Ball being dropped under some pressure, but not always. Soper ripped it clear. And there's massive man, Nelson Solomona, 2.01 centimetres tall, 108 kilograms. Biggest man on the field by a country mile.
Williams, left wing, not able to make a clean play on that.
Yeah, Williams just getting in front there, didn't he? Just was creeping forward, was anticipating the pass, and it came a little bit later than he'd hoped for. So Nelson, they get the scrum feed.
Kerehama Barrett, right winger for Nelson College, is a kid with some talent and ability as well. Mitchell Hunt looks for some field position.
Superb. That is a forward's delight, looking up from a scrum and running 50 metres forward when you first 5/8 kicks like that. That is very good tactical play and good skill from Drummond at first 5/8.
Using the conditions perfectly. Probably realises that they are the underdog. It'll be tougher in the second half, battling into the wind. So let's get field position, get points when available.
Soper ball's come off. Tuiomanufili tidied up by Malu. Campbell. Wait to see the 3 Wellington College forwards just backing off from the ruck to get some go forward.
Well, Wellington College doing what they like to do, and that's use their front row forwards. Soper there off the side of the ruck of the maul, but the supporting players coming in off their feet. So another opportunity here for Mitchell Drummond to add some more points for his side. Here he is, Soper. Good little pass. He's taken the ball forward very well. He sets it up there. And then you see the players just piling in. Wow, gee, was that a tough call, Ken? Gee whiz, he looked like he was just coming in there from the behind the last feet, just trying to take the players out, which I thought he was, was able to do. Don't know, tough call, I think.
Mitchell Drummond.
A useful lead inside the first 10 minutes to be going at better than a point a minute.
Others. The ball back from the kickoff as well. Nelson College, so it's all going well in this opening 10 minutes for them.
Saw the sponsorship there on the jerseys from Mitchell Drummond. Nelson have put together a really strong sponsorship committee to try and match it with the bigger schools, especially in the Press Cups division.
Asofa Solomona with a very, very good take. Sorry, Steve. On the 22-metre line, they've got field position now. Turia.
I can understand you getting excited, Ken. He is an athlete. Extraordinary. Wellington signed him already, have they?
I think everybody signed him. LA Lakers, Manchester United, the rumours that are floating around who signed this kid.
Yes, he's on everyone's wish list, that's for sure.
Campbell, the player in that Wellington under-16 team. This is Asofa Solomona, a tremendous athlete, getting above. Nelson College chases, should I say catches, secures the ball, tremendous at line-out time, very, very skillful. He's hard to tackle. Look at him, he's 6 foot 1,000 or something. Always gets his arms above the tackler, promotes the ball, and having a wonderful year, and just turned 16 years old as well. So a boy with a big future, Asofa Solomona.
So Luke Campbell, can he drag 3 back for Wellington? Kicking into this breeze, you can hear it in our effects microphone. Struck it beautifully. Just holds up short, died really. All of the momentum was bled off from that wind, or by the wind. And it's been taken back nicely by Nelson College and kicked safely into touch. So they survived the first foray by their opposition. Nelson still leading, early stages, 10-0. Nelson has won the Quadrangular tournament 17 times. Wellington 30 times. So not only have they dominated through the 2000s, they've dominated through the history of the tournament, which started back in 1925.
Well, Nelson got a chance here to get out of trouble, as we've seen in the previous game, as we're seeing in this game. Very difficult to get the ball in the line out straight, particularly if you're going down the back of the line out. The front of the line out's obviously the best option in these conditions.
Well, ball's been left behind. Going back to grab it is Hunt. He's under pressure. He's done very well. How many of his mates are back with him? Quite a number. And that's well done from Nelson. Now they want to be more accurate here. And that's Soper kicking downfield, and he's kicked pretty well. Kicked very well.
Well, Mitchell Hunt, he showed a lot of strength, didn't he, the first 5/8? He had all sorts of pressure on. The pass went loose from the scrum. It just went behind him. It wasn't in the ideal position for catching, but he recovered his own fumble and then set it up for a side.
4-man line out. Tuiomanufili. Asofa Solomona gives it straight away for Goosen. Midfield ruck. Collins and Asofa Solomona through the middle. Easy 6 metres. Williams Stewart. Lead forward initially, but then driven laterally. Campbell. Tuiomanufili. Sopoanga to the line. Away from the first tackler. Goes forward in the tackle of the second. Asofa Solomona. The loose ball. Goosen. Under some pressure. He's offside. Ball came off Goosen. It's picked up by Ortina Williams, who was in front of him, so he's offside penalty.
Wellington College would almost be accused of overcomplicating things, couldn't they, there? Just passing when possibly it's just probably safer to take the ball straight up. You don't want to be passing loose, long balls in these conditions. Very windy, very swirly. You got the momentum, wait till the support comes to you and set it up. And we can just see here, Goosen having all sorts of trouble. And then, as you mentioned, the player was in front, so you can't do that. And this is Sopoanga, the hooker and captain. He is a powerful player, and he's been very destructive already with ball in hand.
So they've won the ball. Wellington, 10-metre mark in their own territory. They're down by 10 points. They wanted to not necessarily score. There's no great pressure to do that, but just gain some field position, and as Bull Allen has suggested, just perhaps simplify things. Get some territory, get some possession, not be caught in their own 22. Taria's kick is downfield and it's charged. So everybody's on side, and that's a bit of a reliever there for Wellington, because they weren't really in a good position to get back and defend that kick if it had been successful. But now they've got field position and possession as well, and just starting to force Nelson College to come up in a straight line, which they've done. It's good disciplined defence at the moment. Doing well here, Wellington. Sakaria recovered from that injury, taking it on close to the 22, and now a little bit of place out wide from Williams. Campbell ripped away, and was that the little halfback? I think it was Drummond. Done very well there, well within his rights, and a kick under pressure, and the kick again into touch. Well, they're scrambling, Nelson, but they're showing some good composure.
I was thinking the very same thing. They've certainly been under pressure for the last 5 or so minutes, but they are scrambling, aren't they? They're recovering well. They're getting numbers in the right spots when they have to, and any loose ball, they're managing to get numbers to it and secure it.
Sopoanga, full line out for Asofa Solomona. Tuiomanufili with his hands on the ball. He's picking up some metres going forward. Wellington College. Good control. Well organised. Marching forward and taking metres off the Nelson College defence. It's Campbell barking out instructions as well. Asofa Solomona at the front of it. Now they peel off towards the right, so that's good solid play. Tuiomanufili. Goosen. We'll let a player run in front. It's an obstruction. The referee calls it. And Nelson College with an opportunity to get some decent field position. Wellington College really been applying some pressure on Nelson College in the last couple of minutes. That ball didn't find touch. So Blundell on the return. Good chase and a good steal.
Let him play. Never released, I never saw space. You got to your feet, but you didn't let him go.
Gee, Stevens did so well. Chased him, tackled him, pinched the ball. Under normal circumstances, that's a great play. Under the rules of the game, it's a penalty. Don't ask me what's going on. Well, wouldn't you think that's a great play? Tackle a bloke and pinch the ball?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you get penalised. Because you've got to let him go. Look at this work, Stevens. There's the tackle, and then he pinches the ball. That's great play, but not according to the rules.
Wow.
You've got to let him go, then grab the ball.
Yeah, sure, that's a tough one, all right.
That's what do we call that? Penalising the excellence.
I call that hard to decipher.
Asofa Solomona with a good jump. Short line out. It's Malu. William Stewart working well in there. And they march forward and the penalty try.
Wow, this is something we don't see too often. Incredible.
7.
Soper.
7.
Stephen Soper. Some controversy in this game with a penalty try. Wellington College were driving forward.
Potentially dropping, penalty try, have no choice but yellow card. To the side, please. Yeah, just right there.
Well, I think we're going to see Sean McNabb, the loose head prop. Here he is on the side. Oh, it's actually 7, sorry, Soper, yes.
Soper.
Yeah, drags it down. No hesitation from Chris Ratt.
Gee, I'm not sure about this. The try's got to have been scored. He takes it down, but we'll just... Oh, well, I don't know. Referee's call. Bottom line, try's been given, conversion's been kicked.
Well, the interesting thing is you saw Sapuanga with the ball in a maul type situation. Campbell is able to convert from right in front, so that's just closed it up. It's now 10 points to 7, and Stephen Soper will spend 10 in the bin. But Sapuanga was in no position to get the ball down. And the Soper's indiscretion, there's no doubt that he deliberately dragged it down. It was 3 or 4 metres out from the line.
Asofa Solomona, what a carry from the back row. He's run 20 metres, made the ball available. Turia gets it on the outside. Chance now down the left side. Good running from Blundell. In fact, it's Barnsley. A little left foot step to go on the outside of Hart Strawbridge. Cover defence is coming. Now Barrett has a go at him. Tremendous offence from Wellington College. And now Campbell. Everyone ran right. The halfback ran left. He's taken a metre short. Now the drive from Malu. Yes, the try is scored. And that's Ulutoto Malu, the lock forward. It started from the kickoff. Asofa Solomona with a tremendous run. Caught the ball close to the goal line, brought it back 20 metres, offloaded, then a tremendous attack down the left side from Wellington. This is Asofa Solomona. He started about a metre out from his own goal line. Right-hand fend, steps out of the second, away from the third, promotes the ball in the tackle, going to ground, and then they hit numbers down the left side. Tuirea with a nice cut-out ball, and then Barnsley and Blundell down the left lane, not a lot of room to move. A nice left foot step to get on the inside of Hart Strawbridge. That gave them field position. A tremendous team try from Wellington College. And then Ulutoto Malu eventually, that's Luke Campbell with the pick and go. There's the ball. Malu, good body position underneath, gets the ball down, a referee in great position. A wonderful try, Wellington College.
Well, that was a big passage of play. Incredible, right from inside their 22. They've gone the length of the field. Isn't it amazing? From a penalty try to this.
2 more. Well, in the course of about 90 seconds, Wellington College have scored 14 points and the game has changed.
Incredible.
So can Nelson break back, or does Wellington, after a blip where they were down 10-0 inside the first 9 minutes, do they just carry on? It's a lovely pass after a fine break by Sapuanga, coming up to halfway and halfway through the first spell, and it's Wellington leading Nelson by 14 points to 10.
Ezekiel Sapuanga has been immense in this game already. He's controlling the ball at the back of the maul situations. He's running the ball up off the sides. He's supporting players as well. Very impressed with him. Very mobile for a front row forward.
So it's metres after contact. It's an indication of the power Asofa Solomona, unstoppable by the first defender, Ezekiel Sopuanga. Similarly, powerful runners, direct runners, really taking on the defence.
The big difference being, Ken, that Sopuanga's in there doing those tight yards, where the other big fella's doing the looser yards. So lovely combo, really, complementing each other.
Touch. Pause.
Let's have a look at this scrum. This is an area Wellington College are very strong. It's a good scrum from them, putting a little bit of pressure up on the loose head side.
And Asofa Solomona didn't pack at the scrum either. They've only got 7 forwards, and then they're still dominant.
Yeah, well, there's a man off, of course, for Nelson College at the moment, Stephen Soper, so it's 7 on 7. Yes, and Asofa Solomona, there'd be a very nervous Nelson back somewhere looking at him, positioned at about second 5'8". I don't envy him, to be honest.
No, this side win. I've been talking to you.
So too early. Short arm penalty on halfway, and we're away again. And no great surprise. Asofa Solomona takes it up. He's made 10 metres and he's made it so easily. And there's another good surge.
Stay up.
Ball back to Joe Scott, who's on the field. For Solomona again, well, they've gone 15 metres now, and they're just doing it with ease. Sopuanga creating a little bit of a blind out to Salui. 4th year in the first 15. This is his year 13. That means he started in the 4th form.
Good effort.
It is a good effort. And it's big defence there by Nelson. They're deep inside their 22. They're trailing by 4 now. They're down to 7 men, so it's all against them.
Stay up.
Carried on by Salui again.
Yes, ball's clear. Fine.
And there's space on the right-hand side. They go wide. They've got space. They've got room. Oh, he was going to reach out. Then did the right thing, pulled it back in. Campbell, first 5, tried to get there. This is very fine defence by Nelson, but how long can they hang on under real pressure here? You can see all the mud clogging on the boots. You don't see that very often in rugby in New Zealand these days. The grounds are so well manicured. There's been such an amount of rain. And they over. The touch judge has said, yes, that's a try. And it's the try to Tuiomanufili. Well, Ken, no great surprise there. They just kept on pounding away. They did it with a degree of cynical and rather clinical incremental steps. And in the end, no matter how good the defence was from Nelson, that was an irresistible force.
They get that field position. That's a beautiful pass from a prop to a lock, running like a pair of midfielders. William Stewart's just caught up short. Then they get numbers in and around there. Then from the pick and go, good body position. And the referee talks to the touch judge and Ben Tuiomanufili, normally a lock today, playing flanker. The name on the score sheet.
Well, they've scored 3 tries in only a handful of minutes, and it was 10-0 down. Now 19-10, chance for Campbell with the conversion. It's just going to be short, no, just in behind actually, but may not have quite had the distance. So the try is not converted, but 19-10, that's a handy lead, keeping in mind the fact that 5 minutes ago they trailed by 10.
Got some size. He's a big boy, Tuiomanufili. Asofa Solomona and Malu. Elijah Stewart. So there's Williams Stewart with the run. Tuiomanufili.
Well, they got strike power all over the place, haven't they? And this man is he's been immense as well, but he's not the only one. They're just working in tandem. This forward pack.
Luke Campbell, not much he can do, so forced to scramble over the advantage line himself. He does well, the halfback. It's a good run from Luke Campbell. Turia now at halfback, Sakaria.
Well, the old crossover, there's been a couple of those calls today, so I don't think Nelson will be in any rush here. They'll just take their time, take the kick through their captain, Mitchell Drummond, just slow it down, get a bit of composure back and wind down the clock, as of course they've got a man off. Oh, Sopuanga there, was it?
Yeah,
Dean who running in front, Ken.
Ran in front of Bance. Larry Bance not able to make the tackle.
Yeah, I think if if they're composed enough, Bull, they can probably actually put that period behind them and say, okay, bad trot there, gave up 19 points, can't do anything about that at all, but we're not really out of, well, we're definitely not out of this game at all. We're not really being outplayed. We've contributed mightily in the first 20 minutes or so. Let's get things back on an even keel. And 3 points here to Mitchell Drummond would certainly be a great fill-up for them. About 12 minutes remaining until half-time. He's 38 metres out, almost directly in front. He's a sweet striker of the ball. Distance won't be an issue. Direction's beautiful. 3 from 3 for Drummond this afternoon. And suddenly it's just a 6-point gap.
Well, that's a superbly struck kick, isn't it? He is quality, this boy, as well.
They get the ball back from the kick-off.
Here we see sin bin man, Stephen Soper. He'll be itching to get back on, won't he?
Yeah,
doesn't look happy.
well, he's unlucky to be there.
So the kick is a good one, but Nelson have taken it. Just looking to get some field position of their own here. It might be that Hunt is happy to kick downfield, and he does. It's not a particularly good kick though, because it's been rounded up rather too easily. And Nathan Blundell from the back, their fullback, looks to get up over halfway, makes a metre or two, and leaves the ball nicely. Campbell and the big fellas, led by Sakaria, Vincent Sakaria, and then Sofa Solomona back into the front row again. Etimane Sului. So they're all doing their bit, there's no doubt about that. Turia out as far as Ropara Barnsley and forced into touch. We saw a lot of that in the first game where players were just forced out rather too easily. Sin bin is over for Stephen Soper. It's a valid point brought up on First 15 Rugby over the last couple of years. Why is it a man has to spend 10 minutes in the bin when the halves are only 35 minutes?
What do you think? 5 minutes in the bin's enough?
No, but
7.5.
well, it would probably be 8.8
8.
something.
Well,
Well, it is. It's actually a double whammy in a way. So here's the throw by Tom Hill. Thinks that Sona Tamalolo is the greatest thing since sliced bread, going around in the front row. And his player profiles that we get on Land Rover First 15 Rugby singled out Tamalolo. People will be watching him on Saturday night, won't they, in the
they will.
Super 15
Go
final.
the Chiefs.
Wow.
Go the Chiefs.
I've been away for a few days, but I imagine that those tickets sold in about the first hour, did they, for that
Correct.
final? 3 hours?
Correct.
Was it? Yeah, terrific. As they should. It's extraordinary that we've seen games unsold at this stage of the year.
Asofa Solomona, Campbell ran right, Barrett ran left.
Good defence from Drummond.
Sakaria.
They're working so well. The front row and Asofa Solomona.
Malu, gee, looks good, this kid. Lock forward's already scored a try. He's been prominent in his carries. Now a second man play. Turia for Goosen. He's a clever footballer as well. Turia got a nice array of passing and running options that he uses. Sopowanga, Sakaria, front rower to front rower. 10 metres out, Campbell.
Oh, this front row's got a massive work rate. That's Sului. These boys have had a couple of carries each.
Turia,
last
Asofa Solomona straightens up in between. Gets a very good try, show of power and strength from Asofa Solomona. You felt that it was probably only a matter of time, but the front rowers did a lot of the heavy work to jam in and commit the Nelson College defenders, and then Campbell, Turia, and then onto the ball, straightens up off the left foot. Too big, too strong. Asofa Solomona with a good try.
I hope he goes and pats his front row forwards on the back, because they did a lot of graft in their efforts to get him to there. I mean, he's a quality player, no doubt, but it's all about the work, the lead up. And I remember Joe Stanley saying once, rugby's a simple game. It's about 14 guys getting the 15th man over the field, and a lot of hard work was done in that build-up, wasn't it? But superb play from Wellington College, really putting the phases together, combining well, and it's just an all-round effort, isn't it, from their side?
It's going to be very difficult for Nelson College to come back from this. I know I said before they could put that little 5-minute period behind them, but they're now getting monstered physically on the field. They're tackling well. They're putting their bodies on the line. They're doing everything they can. They're just being completely outplayed now. And that's a very nice kick from Campbell. Another 2-pointer, 7 in total, 26 points to 13. It was only 10 or so minutes ago that Nelson led 10-0. But the physical imposition of Wellington now, I just don't know if Nelson have the ability mentally and with they're much smaller players to put up with this for too much longer.
Well, Steve, it's demoralising when you just bring one big grunter down and there's about 5 more big grunters coming up behind them carrying the ball, so it's difficult, absolutely. And it wears you out too, tackle upon tackle. And here he comes again, Asofa, Solomona. Look at the strength of him. But look at the guys coming behind him, support players galore.
Sopoanga, look at those metres after contact. He loses the ball after another strong carry. And Asofa, Solomona, Sopoanga, Sului, and Sakaria very much to the forefront. Malu with the charge down.
And really interesting to note there, I'm not sure if we're going to see a replay of that or not, but when Wellington go into that close contact stuff, they blow the opposition away. They go through, they go past the ball. You saw they're very passive from Nelson. That was good work done, I think, by Hunt, their first 5'8", who managed to get the ball back, but no one went past him. So there's a different physicality in this game.
Well, they're manhandling them, aren't they? Look at this. They just come in there and they just absolutely swamp them. And that's the sort of combo, isn't it? Asofa, Solomona, Sopoanga. It's a double hitter, and it's working well for them.
And Nelson looked to go on the blind. They haven't been able to do too much in the last 10 minutes, a quarter of an hour, and they've given a penalty away. And Asofa Solomona have all the rights there. He's got such long levers as well. He can get so much further over. Mind you, I suppose he's got further to come down as well to the ball.
But Steve, you see the body language. When they do something good, they're all patting each other on the back. They're talking to each other. They're gearing each other up. Great team spirit within this team. You can really see it in play. They're really, gearing each other up.
I think they expected within themselves, and that's where the greatest pressure and expectation comes from, to win this game and to win it with some quality. Well, they've certainly started very well. 5 minutes to go until half-time. Wellington leading Nelson 26-13 in the latest edition of this famous quad tournament.
Solomona with the line at wins up 4. Quick throw from Nelson College, Drummond.
Now that kick's as only good as the chase, and there's only one player from Nelson chasing. He's not even in frame yet. There he is now, and it's too far, so they'll come back to the 22. The idea was right, but you've got to have communication as well. And you just wonder about the thought process now for Nelson. They'll be getting tired, and mentally they won't perhaps be quite as sharp as they were in the earlier stages. And that's where the likes of Drummond and Hunt, their 9 and 10, have to come into it.
Tuiomanufili. Some more good man and a good tackle, good chase from Malu to put pressure and force the penalty. So very good play from Malu, putting pressure on Samoa Goodman under that ball and to win a penalty for his team.
And you saw there again, nobody going past the ball for Nelson, so it made it doubly easy for Wellington. Hello. We still had about 3.5 minutes to play. The referee has decided otherwise, and he has determined, has Mr. Rat, that it will be half-time in the grand final of the 2012 quad tournament, and perhaps not surprisingly, Wellington totally dominant. 4 tries in that first half, 3 of them converted. At one stage Nelson led 10-0. They now trail by 13. It's Wellington with all of the ascendancy in Christchurch. They lead 26-13. Come back here to Wellington, just continue to march on.
I doubt that Nelson can come back with the greatest respect to them. And there's Dad, Lene Sopoanga, and he has been on the sideline of his son's footy. I remember being, I think when Tuopo was only about 10 or 11, he was on the sideline. And with Petone Rugby Juniors coming through before attending Wellington College. So Dad Lenny, Mum Varsity, they'll be very, very proud of the way that their boys have developed, and they still want to come through as well as in the junior school at Wellington College.
So we're underway again. The second half, Nelson led by 10 points to 0. They trail at the break, 26 points to 13. Soper spent a little bit of time in the bin, 10 minutes, and that led to a rout, really. The 3 tries in the space of 4 minutes for Wellington College. They scored 19 points as a result of that penalty try, and then one at the end, Asofa Solomona, with the try towards the end of the half, and that set Wellington up to really carry on here. Now they'll want to retain their composure. They won't want to just take it as read, and I'm sure that that was something that their coaches talked about during the break, that it's not all over yet, still a long way to go. Retain your skills, retain your patience, and show some respect to the opposition. But they just look so good in terms of the way they have been drilled. They look very fit indeed. They're physically imposing. Gee, they're big, big boys. And I know that at least one member of the Land Rover First 15 rugby crew has already predicted that Wellington will go through to the top 4. But there's still some big games to be played, Ken, in that Highlanders region over the next 3 or 4 weeks before we get to that stage.
That's right.
Well, a big challenge.
Until it's over.
No, you're right. There's a lot of good teams about. We've got to pick ourselves an ASICS man of the match, and the winning team will get a $500 gear voucher from our very good sponsors at Under Armour. Now that's going to be a tough call today. There's some quality players running around, and here's one of them.
Sofa Solomona off the tap, hurdles the first tackler, tackled by the next 2. Now a little catch and pass play between Salui and Sopoanga down the left side, and then a good drive.
I know, Bull, that we have you on week after week and say that you're really only looking at the front rows when you're determining the ASICS man of the match, but I think to be fair, Sakaria, Sopoanga and Salui,
outstanding.
Wow.
Nice to hear you say it.
People can see it.
I don't care how well they're playing, they're not getting my vote.
Oh, that is terrible. Ken Laver.
Sopoanga, you just get 10 tries, I'll find someone else. I'll find another number.
You're a hard man. You're a hard man. No.
They're going great.
It's good to see big young men with such, appetites for the game and work rates. That's what I like.
Ball's lost forward, and I'm just not sure why they're throwing long with this wind. It's quite a stiff breeze, very definitely at the backs now of Wellington College.
They're probably trying to, I guess they've got to throw the ball away from Asofa Solomona, don't they? From William Stewart. Dead, sideline, Lenny.
But I'd like to see Nelson College get the ball to Kerehama Barrett. Remember, we did a game earlier in the year when we saw Nelson College playing Marlborough boys, and he was outstanding. But I don't know if we've mentioned his name till now. He just hasn't had the opportunity.
Well, they're being outplayed. They're becoming bit part players, becoming extras to the movie, really, aren't they? At the moment, here's the front rows again.
Salui, Turia to the line, and there's a little delayed pass. He was looking for Ortenia Williams, but the ball was loose. And now Nelson College with a rare opportunity with the ball, but they're inside their own half. That's an aggressive run. Some more Goodman, that's a good run. Hill, Soper. Good run away from Barnsley.
Soper did well then, because Sofa Solomona was reaching over and just pushed the ball out of his reach. Did very well. Good awareness. And that's what they're going to need to get back into this game.
Stevens on the side for Malu. Yeah, my ball might be headed out to the right-hand side for Asumua. Goodman trying to pick up Barrett. That wing hasn't had the ball yet. Ball's gone behind. Footy and Banks trying to tidy things up.
What a run from the hook of Goodman. Outstanding.
Drummond. For some big men who just carry the ball up over the advantage line. Now a little right side play. Good work from Nelson College. Now they're on the 22. Drummond with a nice delayed pass for Soper. Good build up. Well, that's good attacking play from Nelson College.
And the best bit about that, they blew through the ball, and there it was for them. And what have they gone? 60 metres?
Yeah, plus, it's a good one.
Well, what that'll give them is a bit of confidence too, that, hey, if we get the ball in hand, we can actually take it to Wellington College.
So Sopwanga with the throw. Inside is 22. Going high is Williams and Stewart, and they drive on him up towards the quarter line. Then Campbell has an opportunity to unload. Not looking for touch. And certainly not being found. Fullback. Strawbridge. Don't see too much of him either. The kick by Drummond. He's chasing his own kick, and all his opposite number Campbell can do is run it into touch. So just a good little period here developing for Nelson.
Yeah, well, they've got some smart players, Nelson College. Mitchell Drummond, he's very effective at 9, and Mitchell Hunt at 10. They're very good at kicking for possession, and that was a good ploy there, kicking for the corner.
So this throw has to be accurate.
Not straight.
It's not.
Early jump was the problem.
However.
Early jump. Yes. Yes, 10.
Well, they've taken it quickly. Have Nelson looking for numbers on the inside.
It's Barrett's first carry.
Yeah, he just hasn't seen the ball at all, so he's decided to go looking for it. He's come in at midfield. They go up the blind side. And Nelson just need to be patient here as well, but the ball's been pinched. Is it Malu?
Tuiomanufili, that's great defensive play. Ball's been charged down, Campbell tidies up. Gets it long, it's a good play. But Ben Tuiomanufili can take a bow. They were under all sorts of pressure, and they seemingly look to be going for the try. Nelson College, at the blindside flanker, under pressure, in traffic, comes up with a big play. Here it is, the charge for the line, the ball's available just for a split second. He's onto it quickly, steals it, slips a defender. Good play.
That's the sort of thing you'd see in a coaching manual. Perfect example of the rights to the ball.
19,
Nelson would be disappointed because it took him a long time to gain all that field position, and it was stripped from them in seconds. So they're going to go again. Double peel, always bad.
Time's off. 19.
Scott.
Captain.
Oh, I don't like this. Got a bad feeling about this, boys.
I understand players coming on wanting to make an impact. This is rubbish down here, and you're clearly offside here. You can't play the ball from there. You must be onside. Be very careful. Thank you. Thank you.
Nervous times.
Offside.
So Nelson through Hunt. Looking for field position. Wonderful pedigree, this fellow. His grandfather Rex played basketball for New Zealand. His father, who's also co-coach of this team, is a New Zealand athletics representative, and his uncle, Mark Douglas, played cricket for New Zealand. So there's the penalty, and there's the field position for Nelson. Now, can the throw be accurate? No, it's not. They're throwing it over the back. It's disappeared. Now it's been lost forward, so they're going to get away with it here. They'll get a loose head if they can't free the ball. They can. Soper.
Oh, he's been powerful.
Well, he's angry. He's an angry man, and I think with a fair degree of justification. And there is the power of Wellington.
Asofa, Solomona, and that ball was going to be easily won and easily cleared by the Nelson College forwards. And then he saw an opportunity. Good low body position. We talk about how well he runs out in the open, but there is some very good loose forward play here. With some determined running and a determined effort from him. The benders back and drive into that ruck, and sure, Nelson are still going to get the ball, but they're not going to be able to clear it in the manner that they wanted to. That's good play from Asofa Solomona.
And the thing I noticed too, the sportsmanship of the young man. He blew over the top, and then he actually bent down and picked one of the Nelson College forwards up as well. So it's pretty nice. Smash him and help him.
Mark Ellis, one of the many Wellington College All Blacks down through the years, 32 of them, scoring those points in the 1989 final. Run again by Saunders Loader.
Bring them out, Ben. Bring them out.
Well, while they're down on the scoreboard, Nelson haven't given up any points in the second half. It's still a half-time score of 26-13. That's not Soper's best. Perhaps he heard the referee call offside. I don't know.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Barrett's got to get in the game. His teammates have got to find a way to get in the ball. He's got to try to find a way to get it.
Yeah, I think you were right with your second comment there. Ken, players can loiter if they want to, but if you really want to make an impression, you've got to go looking for it. All about work ethic.
It's a quality player with the ball. Equal of any of the Wellington College attackers. He just needs to get his hands on the football.
He's out the back of this move. Here's Soper.
Oh, he's strong.
The referee playing advantage again now. At least one of the players under a warning. On the blind side through Drummond. The attack is repulsed. Drummond again, nice pass away to Hunt. They're onto him very quickly, but he's shown tremendous strength, great wiriness there to get to the ground. Leave the ball there for Big Much. It's Big Much and Little Much, they call themselves, using the New Zealand accent. Mitchell, Drummond and Mitchell Hunt, and there's a triple peel.
4. Captain, please.
Oh.
Do you know what you did? No. Fine. Okay. You've got to grasp a player. You can't just use the shoulder. Right. We've had 2 penalties in a row against 19. Now a foul play. We've got to be very careful. Okay. No more penalties, please. Had a great first half. Yes. Can. Yes.
Well, that's nicely handled by referee Chris Rat.
Say Malu, no hands in the tackle or something.
Cool,
shoulder. A controversy about the shoulder charge. I personally am a very big fan of it, but I realise I'm in the minority.
Well, it's never been in rugby, so you're talking...
Although I've given it and received it a few times myself, even though it's not in the game.
You're talking about your league experiences here?
No,
or you're talking rugby experiences, yeah?
Well, I think it's a legitimate play myself, as long as there's no contact with the head, but...
Touch!
Penalties are given from no arms.
Here we go.
Play down the left side. Runners in motion. Barrett gets it inside ball. This is the sort of running we want to see from this winger. The second carry of the game. We've made some references to him before about what a player he is. That's only his second touch of the ball. His first one was a strong one, and the second one's a try off a set play. Tremendous work. Barrett, he's on the right wing. There he is, receiving an inside ball. Too good. 3 defenders, and he charges over. That's a very good show of power and strength from Kerehama Barrett. He's a player we have seen before in 2012, and he has some talent and some presence. That's a great try.
He showed great poise because he actually went down on the knee, lost all his momentum, managed to get himself up and drive another 4 or 5 metres.
Well, he was only 8 metres or so out, but he had a ton of work to do, didn't he? There was defenders galore around him. So that puts these guys, Nelson College, right back in the game.
Well, if this conversion goes over, they're within a converted try of taking the lead.
After I said they wouldn't.
Oh, long way to go, Ken. We won't hold you to it yet. If you're wrong at the end, we certainly will.
Of course.
Don't you worry.
I'm surprised you mentioned your comments, Ken.
Oh, he struck it well as he got the strength. It's just...
No.
Oh.
That shows you the strength of the wind.
Well, I'm sure Robbie Neha, our very fine director, will show us that again. I'd like to see it again, that's all. I'd like to see it again.
He's being a bit cynical, I think, Ken. Is that what's going on over here? It's not like you, Steve.
Steve wanted it to go over, and he thinks if we show the replay, it might have.
Yeah. Like that's listening to a game on the old wireless, thinking if we listen to it a second time, maybe we'll win. So, Nelson, buoyed by that, undoubtedly. And Barrett could well be their key maker.
For Crawford is on now, jersey 22.
Williams had a big game. He's done well there. Nelson have to get in numbers. You see, they've only got 2 or 3 there. They're just there he is. Through one. pushing off another. That's good tackling. He's left the ball there and it's been stripped, I think. No, they've won it back. Head down and away we go. Nelson, there's some sting in the tail here. Nelson, they've just got a little bit of zest back into their game. There's little Mitchell Hunt being pulled back by the jerseys, testing the manufacturer's make. Just inside the opposition half. Soper again. Wow. Drummond.
Barrett. Warming to his work now, the winger. Big men now getting over the advantage line. They find themselves in the Wellington College half. Soper, second carry in this sequence of possession for Nelson. Karu trying to hold off Barnsley.
Hold it, get it low!
Mitchell Hunt at halfback. Mitchell Drummond at first receiver. Curry. Good play from Nelson College. Larry Banks, number 8. Mitchell Hunt's wrapped around to the right-hand side and he's got Soper on his shoulder. Gives him the ball. It's his third carry in this sequence. Soper. Some more Goodman. This is very good play from Nelson College. Under the pump for power and presence. Making good. There's a tackle that's gone up. That's crept up by Salui. So there's an advantage with Nelson College. They continue to go forward, making big meters now. Drummond. Soper with a little bit of footwork on Tuiomanufili.
Stay in! Go!
Control, Nelson going to hang on to the ball. It's another contest for it.
Is he still playing
Good,
advantage?
strong, powerful running. Good continuity of play. Pelaforti. Ball and all tackle on him. Hunt. Radimu Karu holds the ball up. Presents it back on the inside. Powerful run from Hunt. Strong tackle on him from Barnsley. But they still have the ball. Good footing, good concentration. Now Tom Hill, the try scorer. Drummond. Back on the inside for Soper.
They need to commit some Wellington College forwards, though. They're just all fanning out, so it's just they haven't quite got the numbers.
Barrett, one-on-one. Pushes away. Pushes them away twice. Back on the inside. Powerful run from Barrett. He's been a presence in this second half. They've got big numbers out to the left. Hunt. Soper. This is fourth carry for Soper. Presents the ball. Radimu Karu. Ball, a high
phases.
ball for Saunders Loader. Now they're tackled out on the left side. Good play. Radimu Karu's now at halfback.
The problem is, as Paul's alluded to there, that Wellington able to defend with just one or two forwards at the breakdown, so there's plenty fanning out. There's no space there at the moment. Although Drummond is looking. Oh, he's left the ball there and he's picked it up again as Siaki.
29 phases.
It's extraordinary. Can they finish it off? Well, they're backing themselves at the moment. This is wonderful to watch. Stevens has taken it to ground. They've gone back about 15 metres here, so they have to just rebuild. And they're hoping that some of those Wellington players are trying to drag them in. Drummond.
They need a couple of pick and go, Steve, just to tighten up the Wellington defence and stop them fanning.
Yeah, Soper. Oh, he's been a huge influence, but just not able to unload. Leaves it there, and now that's not the original penalty. Surely can't be.
32 phases. 32 phases. I can't remember seeing 32 phases here on Land Rover First 15 Rugby.
Smoke coming out of the stats computer.
Penalties, yellow card against him. Offside, clearly.
Wow.
That's a very, very tough call
Side, please.
on
Thanks,
Asofa Solomona. He didn't have an influence on the play. He's been called for offside and sent to the sin bin. I saw the incident, which was really a nothing. He made a dive at the ball and a dive at the player.
So yes, have a chat
Missed.
now. It's a shot.
Play carried on. He's been sent to the sin bin. That is a very, very tough call against Wellington College. Tremendous for Nelson, of course, because they're going to get penalty right in front of the post. But there he is. He makes a dive. No influence on the play at all. And he's sent to the sin bin. That's a tough call. Soper's got the ball. They were in complete control, Nelson. And for a nothing play, he's got to sit down for 10 minutes. That's tough.
32 phases, eh? Unbelievable.
32 phases. Great defence.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Great attack and defence. Going toe for toe.
For Nelson, though, psychologically, this has to go over. He does.
He heard you, Steve.
Well.
Come on.
Very interesting 10 minutes ahead.
Nelson were down to 14 in the first half.
And how many points did Wellington College?
19.
Yeah, there you go.
19 points today.
Yeah, they
went from 10-0 down to 19-10 up.
Yeah, what a play that Soper is the open side flanker for Nelson College as well. What was that, five of those 32 were him?
Well, it might even been 6.
Might even have been 6.
It was a lot. He was incredible. Work rate.
So a test of Wellington's mental agility, if you like. They're going to have to work a little harder, on the forwards especially. They'll want to retain this field position. Nelson will be doubly keen to get out of here, and they're running it with a degree of enthusiasm. There's another penalty.
You throw him down, you weren't in contact in the tackle, so you were not attacked.
Need to be very careful with discipline now.
Just don't want to be seen as being cynical now.
Well, backing themselves, Nelson College. Good quick tap.
I wonder if they feel as though they're gathering some momentum here, Bull, and I'm not sure the degrees of fitness for either side, but they might well feel that the Wellington side's just running out a little bit of puff because they've had to put in so much tackling. Now, is he going to unload? No.
Oh, he should have.
He should have, because the winger had come in, realising that a break might have been made on the inside.
If I had Kerehama Barrett standing outside me, I'd be using him.
Yes.
Gee, they're playing with a real confidence. Now, Nelson Radimu Karu with a nice run, and Barnsley just able to hold him up.
Drummond just creating hesitation in the defence. He's doing everything nicely there, but holding on. So we're past the halfway stage in the second spell. It was 26-13 at the break to Wellington College. Nelson has scored the only 8 points of the second half. A try to Barrett, a penalty to Drummond, and there's just 5 points between them. 14 minutes left.
Well, fatigue factor kicks in now too, Steve. Remembering that this is their second game in 3 days. They're playing on heavy conditions, a heavy ground. So it'll be interesting how they use their subs, and the management of that, I think, will be critical with 14 minutes to play.
Well, I didn't think at the beginning of the second half that Nelson would be able to hold them back at all. And it's been the complete opposite. They've 32 consecutive phases. They've got the advantage while Wellington College's best players out for 10 minutes. So they're never going to get a better opportunity to get back in the game. It's Luke Campbell, Tuiomanufili, Malu wasn't expecting the ball.
You just get the feeling that mentally, as much as anything, it's Nelson who are really coming back into this fray. There's another pass that wasn't unloaded. Certainly not the same room to Barrett. They've turned it around, have Wellington.
From Goosen.
And belted this into touch, into the shrubbery.
Yes, you can't help but feel, you said it, Steve, a couple of times down that right side flank, Barrett looks like, I mean, it's always easy sitting up here making the judgment call, but it looks like he's had the opportunity, hasn't he, with a bit of space. And
yeah, definitely. And also, look, they get a lot of confidence that they know if they get the ball to him, something can happen. Secondly, those 32 consecutive phases, that will give them a lot of motivation and a lot of self-belief that they can wait this out, they can get a win here.
Yeah, they're having issues with their line-outs. They're just not winning any ball there with any consistency.
Goosen, second 5'8", good player. And Malu, he's been good today, the lock.
Been stolen by Nelson, is it? It has.
oh, superb.
Now, numbers. They've closed it off nicely though, Wellington. That's a terrific tackle.
Mitchell Hunt stole that ball at the previous breakdown.
Tackle there by Houston. He mentioned it. He's a very good reader of the game. And just shut that down. Front rowers who we haven't seen too much of in recent times. Bull, your men.
Had no ball, have they? They've been doing a bit of tackle practice.
They have. Another penalty. Sun bursting through here in Christchurch, which is pleasant.
It's Hunt again. He's been impressive too. Tough little guy.
Referee still playing under advantage, and Nelson going nowhere.
Look at the space out right.
Where's Barrett? Oh, he's way over there. The space there, all right. Are they going to go to him? There's an opportunity to go wide. Soper and Barrett, two of the instrumental players.
Oh,
Soper! The dummy, he's going to go 50 metres.
Oh, wow. Wow, that is superb. That is absolutely brilliant.
Well, that try, that's a reflection of those 32 phases that we talked about and the confidence that a couple of runs from Barrett and the try has given to him. Soper has been one of their best. He had 10 minutes in the sin bin in the first half as well. And here he is. Barrett came on the inside, showed the ball, brought the dummy easily, Crawford, and then Barrett, too quick for the cover defence, and finishes with a dive that wouldn't be out of place in the Olympics to square it up at 26 or maybe,
Oh, what a superb camera
maybe
angle.
not the Olympics.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Maybe not the Olympics. I thought the dive was pretty ugly, but there's 5 points there, and look at that. Feels aggrieved over what he will believe was an injustice in that first half, but he's brought it back to level pegging. 10 and a bit minutes to go, and it's 26 all. And little Mitchell Drummond is kicking across the breeze. It's coming into his right cheek.
Oh, we've had a couple of ripper games, haven't we, here this afternoon at Christ College? They've been outstanding.
Very good.
Christ's boys have all gone back into class. Well, there's a few out watching, but most of the school's back in, but they'll be enjoying this. Now, Drummond didn't miss by too much with his last penalty. Taking plenty of time. He hasn't struck it all that well, but he's got plenty on it in the end. It went across the face of the goals. Just kept it low, and that was perhaps deliberate. Kicking with a cross breeze.
Come on, Nelson!
26-13 at half-time. Wellington over Nelson. It's now 26 all, and we're inside the last 10 minutes.
Soper.
Fitting for a tournament with all of this history.
Absolutely. And Soper, he will be a key player in determining the result of this as well. Soper. Nelson College give themselves a big chance. Ball's an advantage with Wellington College. Campbell puts the ball along the ground, tidied up easily by Hart Strawbridge. Now Soper.
Soper's just been instrumental in so many good things that have happened. Now that kick, the bounce will be interesting. It's bounced kindly for Wellington, and they've carved it off. Now they've got a little bit of space out wide too if they choose to use it. Well closed down by Nelson. 8.5 minutes remaining. 26 all in the final of the 86th playing of this quad tournament. Salui takes it to the 22. Nelson territory. Nelson getting there, but not in the way of too many numbers. Sorry, Wellington, and Nelson able to push them off the ball. And they've won a penalty. No, they haven't. There's just a little bit of accidental offside, but they will have the loose head, defensive as it might be.
You can see a little bit of frustration there from Wellington College when they lost that call. They certainly would have gone into the second half, as we've mentioned, thinking that they were going to carry on with their domination, but Nelson College have been superb in their comeback. They've toiled hard, setting phases together. Of course, Wellington College a man down at the moment, and he must be due to re-enter the game very shortly. There he is. Nelson Asofa Solomona just warming up to re-enter this match.
Yeah, what impact will he have ball in the final 6 or 7 minutes? He might be angry as well. We've seen that emotion turned very positively by Stephen Soper. Will we see the same from Nelson Asofa Solomona. Yeah.
Deliberately going there. Right side. I don't know if they're kicking the ball away with Barrett.
Barrett there.
Now coming in to make the tackle on Blundell.
Well, they've turned it over.
Now Barrett's out to Drummond's right. Gone through one, comes back in, so he's given his forwards something to go to, and they've gone to it well because the ball's there nicely for Drummond. And happy just to play amongst themselves at the moment, the forwards, making sure that it's good, tidy ball for the backs. Hunt goes under an attempted to tackle around the shoulders. Drummond again, he's had a massive influence on the game now. Now the pass out wide, and it's out wide to the man on the left wing, and he's going to go in. Stevens on the left wing for Nelson. Beautiful pass out wide. I thought they'd overshot the mark, but Stevens was able to pick it up, and with the right foot step, he was in.
Beautiful cutout ball as well. Right to left, the catch of the ball. Saunders loaded, then the right foot step, and a beautiful cutout ball for Stevens. Too quick, pushes off the first marker, and too quick for the cover. Fabulous try. Oh, good pass from Saunders loader. Here it is, catch, right foot step, misses out Soper. One-on-one, the right-hand fend, and then tremendous. Stevens and Barrett, a couple of quality wingers. And a couple of opportunities for Stevens today, and they've been good.
Yeah, well, that's big news for Nelson College, and the big news for Wellington College is Asofa Solomona is back on the field.
5 minutes left.
31, 26.
This is huge, this kick here. Is this the difference between the teams at the end? Will Nelson break the drought? Can Wellington come back? And he's pulled it.
To the left.
Yep.
Well, this is exciting.
Wellington College's tactic will be to get the ball to that player there in exactly the same way that Nelson have been working to get the ball to their wingers. So we're going to be down to who can make the most out of what opportunities are going to be presented to there.
This has to be accurate. It is. That's the first part. Now, I think we should also keep in mind that the referee blew his whistle about 3 minutes early in the first half.
It's all about composure now, isn't it? Composure, and they're looking very composed, Nelson. It's a matter if they can keep that composure for the last. Well, we're looking 4 minutes to go now.
So do you keep the ball and pick and go, or do you kick it down the other end?
Well, pick and go seems to be working. I mean, we know that they can string phases together. They strung 32 together not that long ago. And why would you want to kick possession away? I suppose that would be the argument. Keep it in hand, just wind down the clock.
And that's what Soper's doing. He's taking it to ground. Well, we almost had a draw, didn't we, in the first game? And this match here, shaping as that being a possibility as well.
Well, the question I'd be asking if I was the Nelson College captain, Mitchell Drummond, how long to go, ref? How long to go?
Not long, Bull. And not long for you to head away either. Ball will be down on the sideline with all of the action from the captains and the player of the game in just a few minutes. There's a penalty to Wellington. They trail by 5, 31-26. And the kick to touch for Turia. It's an important one, Ken, isn't it? He needs to get as much ground as he can, but he doesn't want to make a mistake. Oh, that's a very good kick. This line out will be 7 or 8 metres out maximum.
This is a line out for their 10th title, isn't it? Wellington College, or for Nelson, who have put what an effort. They were down 26-13, 31-26. Dad Sopoanga thinking they've got to win this line out to score into the post.
Well, there's the Nelson coach there in the corner, exhorting his team to one final effort.
William Stewart, an important line-out win. Campbell, Turia, Soper, oh, there's been a drop ball. There's an advantage with Nelson. That might be the game and their 10th consecutive title. An unforced error. And Asofa, Solomona, normally he would run with the ball, opting to shift it. There it is. And a drop.
Joe Scott just had a wee look there at Larumu Karu, who was lining him up in the tackle. Still, not all over yet for Wellington, Ken. They'll put all of the pressure on here. 5 points. Try in the corner, kick to win it. Oh, word. Or a try under the posts and kick to win it. There'll be pressure on that too. But Nelson have just played the last 10 minutes, quarter of an hour with such a great self-belief. Here's Barrett. They've grabbed hold of him. He can't afford to give a penalty away. They've got the ball back. Drummond's done beautifully there. And the forwards going in over the top, sealing it off legally by maintaining their body weight. They're still in a rather invidious position here, caught in behind their quarter line. They're just doing it so well. They have a great belief. We've mentioned it before. Blundell playing a terrific part in these young men's development. That's what he mentioned in the first 15 magazine, which came out at the start of the season, that in all of his 30 years he's enjoyed this the most because these fellows are sponges. They're soaking it up. They're prepared to learn, and they have learned well here.
This will be one of the greatest comebacks that we have seen if Nelson are able to hang on and get this victory. Wellington College with
They haven't got time to kick it out, Ken.
Sofa Solomona from the first carry. The end have got an advantage. Another penalty.
It's fine, never 10.
Not 10 metres. So Luke Campbell. Soper need to go for the try. Now the pick and go. Sofa Solomona's out on the outside of Turia. They back themselves solid. Centimetres out. Wellington College desperate to get the try that'll square it up. Campbell. Asofa Solomona from a standing start gets the ball away in the tackle. Turia with a long ball, and it's going to be try out wide.
Try out wide
for Blundell. 31 all, the kick to come. So Luke Campbell with the kick, and Blundell, after Asofa Solomona got the ball away in the tackle, Turia got the return ball, long pass out wide to Barnsley, and then Blundell in the tackle scores the try to lock it up at 31 all with the conversion to come. Saunders, Loader, just couldn't quite get there a second earlier to shut him out. So 31 all, Wellington College going for their 10th consecutive title. Luke Campbell.
Well, at the very least, Ken, they will share the title.
At the very least. And that would probably be an appropriate ending. Luke Campbell. Good player for the win and for the title. Luke Campbell, no! So it's a draw at 31 all. They will share the title.
Well, he's distraught, Luke Campbell, but that was a big ask, and amazing. A hollow feeling, absolutely hollow feeling as far as Wellington concerned. Jubilation as that kick missed from Nelson. 31 points all after Wellington led by 26 points to 13.
The boys consoling Luke Campbell, who's Steve Davies said, but I think 31 all, that's an appropriate score.
Absolutely. 31 all then. So the title is shared in 2012, 10 in a row for Wellington, and Nelson break back after a drought of many, many years. Stay with us here on Land Rover First 15 Rugby.